Hey, what's going on? Well, let me wait to see. It always takes a minute. Thanks for checking out this live stream. I want to make sure it captures me. I hate it when it cuts me off mid-sentence. I'm going to share my thoughts about why liberals/Democrats have an incredible opportunity because of the results of the election. It's the same opportunity conservatives had in 2020. And as a conservative, I'm going to share my thoughts with you if you're a liberal or a Democrat. I don't even identify with the Republican Party anymore. So I'm not even down with that. I just identify myself as a human being. I didn't vote for either of them in the election in a month ago or a few weeks ago. But in 2020, I was super bummed out because I thought to myself, as a human being observing the situation, I thought Joe Biden, I was like, oh man, this guy's going to be our president, this 50-year career politician who basically, I don't know if you can get more swamp creature than that. 50 years in politics. I was super bummed out. Now, I didn't make any videos screaming at the camera. In fact, what I did do is I asked myself a question. I was like, maybe liberals, maybe the country knows something I don't. And I was like, well, do they? And I seriously gave myself over to maybe looking into what went down, and maybe it was going to be a good thing. I quickly changed my mind after, Afghanistan and the Keystone Pipeline and some other just stupid things that Biden administration did. And I was like, people are crazy. But I digress. My point in making this video is for this reason. We're all being played. They're pitting left against right, black against white, rich against poor, gay against straight. Any group against another group is good for business for them. They do it with wars. They do it with PANDEMICS. All they want is for us to keep fighting amongst ourselves and to keep the warlike mindset. Excuse me. Because when we're fighting amongst ourselves, it takes the heat off them. The opportunity that exists for liberals and Democrats is to see through the illusion that they work for you, that the system works for you. Because what happens, we only wake up when we experience pain, right? When we experience loss or when something shakes us out of our routine. That happened in 2020. I was like, oh man, that sucks. But what really happened was waking up to the deception and the lies that we've all been fed our whole lives. One of my favorite things to do is to watch liberals talk about Obama. Obama woke a bunch of Democrats up because Obama bailed out Wall Street just like the Republicans did. Obama drone bombed a bunch of people, and liberals and Democrats aren't super into that. No human being's super into that. Obama, with the help of Hillary Clinton, totally annihilated Libya in the name of freeing the Libyan people, destroyed that society, and destroyed their, what some people call it, the eighth wonder of the world, the pipeline that Gaddafi was building to bring water. Libya, I found out that Libya doesn't have any natural rivers there. It's a complete desert, barren desert, but they have these large aquifers in certain places in the country, and Gaddafi was building this massive infrastructure pipeline. Portion of it, to my understanding, was destroyed during that shit show that Hillary Clinton we saw he died. I love seeing people wake up. I love seeing myself wake up, right? Finding new information. That's why I share this information with you here on my social media at G. Mark Phillips, my YouTube channel. I've done a number of deep dives into Iraq, the lies that led us into Iraq. That was Bush's dirty deeds. Libya, Haiti under Bill Clinton. I mean, they've all hosed over humanity so much, and people are waking up to it. Pain will wake a person up. This is why I pray for people that the pain that they experience, whether it's in any area, financial, for whatever system gives you the pain, whether it's the financial system that's totally bogus and rigged and fake, the education system, which is totally bogus and rigged, and they're teaching kids silly things, the health, quote unquote, healthcare system, having a bad experience there will wake you up to the lies and deception in our world. What I pray for people is that the pain is as minimal as possible and as swift as possible. And it's just enough to shock you out. Then what I pray is that the awakening experience for everyone is as quick as possible. For me, my huge awakening experience, when I really saw deep into the deception and lies in this world and what was really going on, I didn't really see it until late 2021, probably really 2022. It's a very painful experience to wake up to the fact, to what the world really is, who really runs the world, what their agenda is, how deep the lies go. I mean, remember, these are generational lies, I mean, and deception. And also, as a non-Christian person, I never walked that path. I mean, I dabbled, I was made to go to church as a kid for a little bit, but I never was a Christian. I got on that path because I saw pure evil. And I never was on that path before, but I'm like, oh shit, if pure evil exists, then God must exist. And my whole world got flipped on its head, as many people's world did, right? I remember watching Callie Fontanilla. She's an ex-teacher. She's a liberal Democrat teacher. She woke up to the lies, and she talks about how she woke up during Obama's administration, like I said, because he bailed out Wall Street, right? I call them the colleagues on Wall Street. They're buddies, they're business partners. And also he bombed all those people. He did a lot of heinous crimes, what I call crimes against humanity in the world, right? Hurting my fellow human beings, like brothers and sisters. She woke up. Many liberals woke up during the Biden regime, Biden-Harris presidency, because he was doing all sorts of silly things in the world, right? Afghanistan, border issues, in not addressing inflation, and I've realized presidents really can't do a lot about inflation because they don't control the monetary policy. It's the Federal Reserve that controls monetary policy. Presidents at the end of the day, they are illusion of power. They're just puppets. They work for people just like we all do. But many people woke up in the Biden-Harris presidency. Many Democrats woke up, and liberals, because they saw, like, this is totally bogus. Like this is, he clearly is like either pretending. Both of them were either pretending to be dumb, or they're really dumb people. I mean, not being able to express a coherent sentence. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. I believe they were, again, either playing the part or doing it deliberately, or either playing the part or they really are causing trauma to the American people to drive them to Donald Trump. Like I said, I didn't vote for either one of them in this election, and it's the first time I've ever done that, and it felt so good to detach myself from the circus. And I feel a great sense of peace and just calmness, because once you see the deception, the WWE type deception, where it's, oh, good guy, bad guy, I call it good cop, bad cop. The last 8 years have felt like a good cop, bad cop routine, or, as I like to say, a smart cop, dumb cop routine. And at the end of the day, you know, bomb makers and ammunition makers, they're making bank. Bankers are making bank. BlackRock's making bank. Investment people at the highest end are making bank. Who else is making bank? Ukraine people, whoever's running the show in Ukraine apparently is making bank. Billions of dollars going there, millions and billions of going to Israel so they can drop bombs on women and children. They're making bank. It's a whole business. It's a business opportunity, you know? And so it's like, wow, this is crazy. But because of this, what appears to be psychological and emotional pain. And I feel for liberals and Democrats. I mean, again, I've been in that situation. I was like, oh my gosh, we got to endure 4 years of this clown, the clown that I didn't like. And liberals and Democrats have their own. To them, Donald Trump is the clown, right? And I know how they feel, but it's an incredible opportunity to look beyond this illusion of this circus show, this WWE type experience. And wake up to what's going on in the world. If people choose to accept it, like I say, the deception runs deep. It is not, this is not trivial. This is like I say, I even think there's, evil forces at play. Again, I never used to think of it that way, but I think there are definitely some evil forces at play and some deep level psychological manipulation, trauma, and fear. As I dive into how these covert action agencies and how governments control the masses. I've talked about this before on my social media at G. Mark Phillips. They use fear because fear is the mind killer. It shuts down the prefrontal cortex, and your brain can't process information. You don't have access to reason and logic anymore. They use fear. They use rushing, because when you're moving fast, that's when they take advantage. One of the things that I share with people is they did it is what they did during the Affordable Care Act. Some people call it erroneously Obamacare. It's the Affordable Care Act. You know about it in 2011, I believe. Remember when Nancy Pelosi said, we've got to pass it to find out what's in it? They rushed these bills through in kind of a quick way so that the American people can't. The American people aren't really even paying attention to what Congress is doing. Most of them, 90%, 95%, 99% maybe. I don't know. They rush these bills through, and it's always a shit show. That was 2011. My experience with the healthcare industry has not improved. My experience with the healthcare industry has not improved at all. I've never met anyone who's happy about how it went. The other thing that they did is the Patriot Act. In early 2000s, they passed the Patriot Act 2 weeks after that event. That is wild. That is wild. When any counselor or therapist would tell an individual, don't make any move financially, healthcare, social, anything for at least 6 months. You've experienced trauma. You're grieving. You're not in a rational, logical state of mind. But of course, the government has to capitalize on that and pass the Patriot Act, one of the most, if not the most egregious takeaways of civil liberties and personal freedom. It's wild. It's wild when you really see how they work and how they manipulate people. We need to be talking about these things. We need to peel back the layers and look into it, because it's not going to get better if we keep this left against right dynamic going, which is what they want. It's breaking down. I feel it's breaking down, but we need to keep talking about these things and exposing the lies and deception that is happening. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that's my piece that I wanted to share with you today. The opportunity that exists for liberals and Democrats to wake up to the lies and deception in this world, and this illusion that the right isn't the enemy. There it is. There it is. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I also want to mention, go check out One Life if you're interested in a system for living. This is the system that I use in order to do my work in the world and overcome the fear, the doubt, the limiting beliefs, right, that are false to begin with. It's a system for discovering your purpose and executing your purpose every single day, because you do not want to get to the end of your life and realize that you didn't do your mission in life. You know the drill. Don't die with your music still inside of you. Don't die with regrets, right? You don't want to die with regrets, because we came here. We're not going to be here forever, right? We came here with a mission and a purpose. Every one of us is designed in a specific way with specific talents that God gave us in order to make the world a better place. Are you a chef? Are you a builder? Are you a designer? Are you good with numbers? Are you a healer, doctor, nurse slash person? Are you a natural teacher? Are you a natural mom or dad? Not everyone is cut out to be a mom and dad. Some people fall into these roles and they never wanted them, right? My vision of life and my ultimate vision for humanity is that everyone is doing the role that they're designed to do, right? Using their God-given talents, using their natural capacity, the gifts, the way they perceive the world, the way their mind works. Are you a spatial person, or can you envision space, and can you envision three-dimensional objects? Can you look at things and go, okay, well, that's about 10 feet. This is about 3 feet. Some people think in these ways. I don't understand people who get math. Excuse me. In my mind, I don't understand people who understand mathematics and to the deep level. I'm glad they're here though, doing those things that require math. What else is another one that I don't, physics, I barely scraped through physics, studying architecture in school. I had to take physics class and I barely made it through. Some people's brains don't work. Everyone's brain works in a different way. I remember years ago when I was studying Aikido from my sensei, Alejandro Anastasio. I've interviewed him a number of times on the channel. The founder of Aikido, Morihei Ueshiba, he had a number of students, and all of the students had a different capacity to understand and integrate a different aspect of Aikido. Some integrated the physical aspect, some integrated the energetic aspect, some integrated the spiritual aspect, some integrated the intellectual aspect, right? That's an example of how the world is, right? Everyone's built in a different way, and we need everyone doing their thing. This is why I rag on the education system so much, is because from my perception, from my perspective, they homogenize kids. They want to make this child or this unit that is going to go out in the world and be a cog in the machine, right? Now Montessori appears to do it, where they're letting the kid guide themselves. I think that's how it should be. I don't want a homogenous society. We do it with food, we do it with agriculture, these mono farms, we do it with all sorts of things, when that's not how life really is. Life is, I talk a lot about the psycho-biodiversity of human beings, of life on planet Earth. Everything needs to be working in a harmonious fashion for it to have the optimal experience, for the nutrient-rich soil, nutrient-rich agriculture and growing things. That's how human beings have to be as well. I would much rather see school assess the child from the very beginning and help them know themselves, which is what One Life is all built around. Help them know themselves, help them know their purpose, help them know their talents, their God-given talent, and help them find their mission in life, so that when they graduate from school, they've got a clear path. I see so many kids, young kids, and they're totally dazed and confused, and they don't know themselves. They don't know their purpose in the world. They're like a lost soul. I used to be that way too, right? That's my vision for the world, is for the education system to teach children who they are and why they're here and what their purpose and mission is. So that's the idea around One Life, that create the product you want to see in the world. That's exactly what it is. You can check it out at thisismyonelife.com. When you purchase, you're going to get, depending on when you watch this video, right now, currently for version 1, it's a one-on-one consulting experience. And then I'll send you the PDF packet with all of the different tools inside of the system, so that you can start right away. It's not a course. You don't have to sit there and watch a bunch of videos. There is a video up on inside of behind the paywall about One Life and why I created it and what my thought process was behind it and about the product. But the reality is, you can get started right away. right? These tools, well, you can start where you're at with what you got and start working right away, because that's the product that I want. Again, I use this every day for myself. Again, it's a collection of tools that all integrate together to help you know yourself, know your purpose, and do your work in the world every single day, because that's what we came here to do. Again, this is myonelife.com. I appreciate you for checking out this live stream. Leave me a thumbs up if you like it, and I will talk to you in the next one. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.